So in this video, I'd like to kind of talk about what's kind of behind my computer screen. I think for most people looking at it for the first time, there's just a lot going on. It's very confusing, very complex, but it's actually very simple. Uh, it's pretty much what you call the Bloomberg Launchpad, and it summarizes all the sort of different pages that you want to look at all on one screen. So I'm just going to go into it a little bit for you guys. So I'm just going to be going through some of the boxes. So my first box, so just this one, is just your stock list of names that you watch on a price basis. Nothing too dramatic here. Just I think a really good benefit with using Bloomberg is you're able to add in different sort of functions that help you look at these stocks a little bit more quicker. So in addition to your typical last price and intraday changes, you can look at how the stock has been performing week to date, quarter to date, year to date. And in addition, on the left side, or the left columns, I've put in some quick technical indicators. So just really quick level buy, sell signals for me, so I don't have to peer into any independent name. It's just all there for me in one big list. Second one, right here, is just your high-level news for all the companies that are from the first list, or the list from the first box. So that just gives you very catered or filtered down news. The one below is top news, so that's just very high level news that's going on in the economy, and specifically based on the categories you would want to listen to, or I guess want to read into. So like deals, finance, economy, government, technology, science, blah, blah, blah. That's sort of my global market summary. So telling you about the futures, FX rates, prime rates, key rates, swap rates, commodity rates. There's just a lot of information here. So I like to look at that on a very high level. Right here, obviously the one on the right is your stock chart. Left one, I think most people haven't ever seen this before, but it tells you valuations on a market trading level. So how things kind of trade on, say, your PE valuation over time. That's sort of how I can look at valuation on a very, very high level. And it's just something that Bloomberg users can benefit. Right here is sort of your sell side research. So guys who publish research notes or reports on specific companies as they kind of progress through time. So I'll just pull one up for you guys. So this would be one by Deutsche Bank on Home Depot. Home Depot recently reported, so they just sort of updated their thesis on the company. On the side here, it's called First Word. Basically, it's your AI-driven news. So Bloomberg has AI that kind of pulls in information pretty quickly and what they feel is important. So it's their own sort of filter. On my right screen, the top row are my charts for global market indexes. So I follow on just a high level different countries just to see how every country is sort of doing against each other. Just because the US is down doesn't necessarily mean that another country would be down, or they might not be down as much. In the middle row, my charts are for specific companies and their peers or their competitors. So I kind of like to monitor how competitors are doing against each other. Just because a whole industry is down doesn't necessarily mean that one stock is down more than the other. So for example, on the very left, so that one, that's just my coverage of all the Canadian banks, just monitoring how they're doing against each other. Lastly, the bottom row are just specific sort of stock market charts like foreign exchange, commodities, and on the very right, that would be the 10-year US Treasury. So just following the rates there. And I guess you guys have probably noticed there's a lot more lines than are typical of a stock. Those are just my technical indicators, and they just kind of provide me, psychological buy or sell signals. Interestingly, this one is for WTI oil, and you probably noticed it cracked through all my technical indicators and support resistance lines. So I'm also not as surprised as to why you see this crazy red drop in such a important chart. Obviously, there are real reasons behind it, but a lot of the times psychology with technical indicators could give you one step ahead and could really save you a lot of money. So I do monitor that. At the top corner, that's just me talking to my colleague. We just keep up, crack some jokes. Here we're talking about pot stickers because we're going to have a team lunch or team dinner soon. So that's going to be a good time. At the top, that's sort of your just Bloomberg TV. It's following constant updates. It's also nice to know what are some very high level topics or companies reporting. So that's nice because you can also change the channel. So I'm on Asia Pacific, but I'll just go back to the United States. There's also Bloomberg or BNN in Canada, which is the it's almost like a CNN for Canada, but it's more so individuals talking about specific stocks or the economy, or it's very specific, less so high level news. So that's a bit about my computer. Hope you guys enjoyed this tour, and let me know if you guys have any comments, or let me know if you guys have something that's similar, or do you guys use some other similar sort of charts that's not necessarily Bloomberg.